Welcome to the video series on practicing speaking and answering interview questions from the Cambridge English IELTS curriculum. These videos will help you provide more accurate and focused answers, boosting your confidence when participating in the IELTS speaking test. Wishing you success!
How do you usually spend your weekends? Why?
Well, it depends on whether I have any special plans or not. For example, last weekend I visited a friend, and although that wasn't a usual weekend, almost every other weekend I try to go out and do something different, whether it's with friends, family, or even on my own. However, a typical weekend when I don't have any specific plans usually revolves around my family and just relaxing at home. I often help my mom with household chores, maybe assist her with grocery shopping and meal preparation, and then we might watch a movie together as a family in the afternoon or evening. Later in the day, I usually spend some time reading or planning what I need to do for the upcoming week. But I enjoy spending time with my family like this because it's very important to me.
Which is your favorite part of the weekend? Why?
Actually, I don't have any specific time that I particularly enjoy, like Saturday or Sunday, morning or evening. I think I enjoy big family meals on the weekend, something we can't always do during the week, so that's great. But overall, I love the entire weekend and simply being with my family.
Do you think weekends are long enough? Why? Why not?
In general, yes. I mean, it's not something that is likely to change, so I've never really considered whether 2 days are long enough or not. It's always been 2 days. I feel that it's enough time to take a break from the routine during the week, and it's also enough time to do things like traveling and visiting other places. Sure, it might be nice to have a third day or even more sometimes, but that's not something likely to happen. And I suppose if we did have a 3-day weekend, the 4 weekdays would only become busier than they are now, and I'm not sure many people would like that. Unless, of course, we added another day to the week and had 8-day weeks. But again, I can't imagine that happening because it would disrupt so many things around the world.
How important do you think it is to have free time at the weekends? Why?
Having enough free time is very important for overall well-being and balance in life, but it doesn't necessarily all have to be on the weekends. For most people, weekends are the time when they have the most free time because they are so busy during the week. However, if you have a quiet day, say Wednesday, when you're less busy than usual, and have some free time to do something you enjoy, then I suppose if Saturday is filled with family activities or other things you need to do, you wouldn't mind so much because you would have had some free time during the week.
Describe someone you know who does something well. You should say who this person is, how you know this person, what they do well, and explain why you think this person is so good at doing this.
My best friend is Shara. She's always doing something fitness related in her free time. In fact, some people might even say she's obsessed with it. But she's very talented at it, as she has won awards in physique and fitness competitions. We've been best friends for many years, ever since elementary school when we first met. Back then, she was always good at sports and activities like that, and she played on the soccer team. She also did gymnastics and athletics. I remember thinking at the time that she would probably do something related to fitness or sports as an adult, maybe even compete in the Olympics or something similar. When we were in university together, she started getting interested in weight training and physique conditioning. It was something we did together for a while, but while I personally enjoy staying fit, I'm not as disciplined or serious about it as she is. I still work out with her regularly, but now she's at a completely different level from me, of course. Last year, she decided to compete in her first physique competition, and spent several months training and preparing for it very diligently. She was so disciplined and committed that I was truly amazed. And in the end, she won first place in the competition, beating many other girls who were also in great shape. I think her obsession and passion for what she does are what make her excel. It's clear she has found something she's exceptionally good at, and most importantly, something she truly loves. Now that we've graduated, she's talking about pursuing this professionally if she can find a sponsor. And she wants to get certified as a personal trainer and nutritionist instead of following a career in business administration, which was the major we both studied at university. I'm sure she'll succeed because that's just the kind of person she is. When she wants something, she goes for it and gets it. Her determination is incredible. I'm extremely proud of what she's achieved over the past couple of years because I know it hasn't been easy. I think most people would have given up, but she didn't, and she never does.
What skills and abilities do people most want to learn today? Why?
I suppose many young people are interested in technology skills because they seem almost indispensable in most careers nowadays. Many of my friends are also interested in people-oriented skills and want to pursue careers in marketing and consulting, so they focus on the psychological and social aspects of managing people, among other things. Another important point is that many young people today tend to choose a broader range of career paths, combining skills from traditional professions. Of course, there are still those who choose to become doctors or similar, but there are also new careers that didn't exist a few years ago, such as forensic accounting and criminology, which have become popular among people I know. Therefore, I believe that high-tech skills and the ability to transition from one professional field to another through transferable skills are becoming not only more desirable and sought after, but almost essential for those who want to be professionally flexible and build a strong career for themselves in the long run.
Which skills should children learn at school? Are there any skills which they should learn at home? What are they?
I think it's very important for children to learn basic and traditional academic skills at school, such as mathematics, language, science, and similar subjects. However, it is equally essential to encourage them to develop critical and analytical thinking abilities. Additionally, there are other skills like creativity and problem-solving abilities that should also be nurtured during their time at school. At the school I attended, this was certainly the case, with a strong emphasis on fostering creativity and problem-solving skills. As for the skills that should be learned at home, I believe parents have the responsibility to teach their children to become good citizens or responsible members of the community. This is usually best achieved by setting a good example through their own behavior as parents. It is also common to encourage children to be creative at home through engaging in creative activities. In my case, my parents always encouraged me to read extensively to develop my vocabulary and learn about various subjects. I also believe that parents can teach their children about discipline, determination, setting goals, and how to achieve them. Some people may consider these to be skills, while others may see them as personal qualities or attributes. Personally, I believe these are skills that can be learned.
Which skills do you think will be important in the future? Why?
That's hard to say, but based on what we've observed in recent years, there is clearly a trend toward automating as much as possible the manual and repetitive tasks that were previously done by workers. These functions are largely being taken over by computer systems. Therefore, as we've witnessed the emergence and development of the knowledge-based economy, it's safe to assume that in the near future, this trend will continue, with knowledge becoming increasingly important compared to skills that can be automated or replaced by computer systems. In the more distant future, it's incredibly challenging to even imagine the new technologies that might emerge, and as a result, the skills that will be in demand. However, there will always be a need for creative skills, entrepreneurial skills, and anything that cannot be easily replicated by systems. People skills will always remain important, so if you can combine all of these into a career, you would be on the right track, though I have no idea what that career might be. One thing is certain, young people considering careers now need to think about skill flexibility and possibly cross-functional or interdisciplinary skills, rather than limiting themselves to a single field. Professional mobility and adaptability will be highly valued in the future as the pace of change in the business world continues to accelerate.
Which kinds of jobs have the highest salaries in your country? Why is this?
Traditionally, high-regarded jobs or careers were often in fields such as banking, accounting, law, and medical specializations. However, in recent years, this has changed significantly. More and more young entrepreneurs are starting their own businesses. If they have a good product or idea that becomes popular and their business succeeds, they often earn much more than the examples I previously mentioned. In the past, positions that required a high level of responsibility and/or extensive training, along with deep knowledge or expertise, usually came with attractive remuneration packages. I suppose it was like a reward for all the effort and years of studying and training. However, nowadays, many young people are not solely drawn to high salaries. They want to do something they believe in, something they are passionate about. And in many cases, this has become the most important factor when considering the types of jobs they might want to pursue.
Are there any other jobs that you think should have high salaries? Why do you think that?
Honestly, I don't think you can simply say that a specific job deserves a high salary. It's more about supply and demand. You don't necessarily need to be a doctor or a lawyer to earn a good salary. If you have skills and experience in your field, and there aren't many others with the same qualifications, your value will be much higher than if you only offer the same skills and experience as everyone else in your profession. Sometimes, when there's a shortage of a particular skill set or type of worker, they may receive higher salaries than usual, but this might not be a permanent situation. It could only last a few years until the skill shortage is resolved. What often happens is that when young people realize, for example, that lawyers are earning a lot because there aren't enough lawyers to meet the current demand, you'll see an increase in the number of students enrolling in law school to take advantage of the opportunity. The problem arises when there are so many young law graduates that law firms no longer feel the need to offer high salaries, as young lawyers are simply happy to secure a job, so it becomes a kind of constant balancing act.
Some people say that it would be better for society if everyone got the same salary. What do you think about that? Why?
That's an interesting idea, but what is its purpose? It has been proven that humans are naturally competitive, though the level of competitiveness varies from person to person. However, the proposal to pay everyone the same salary, regardless of their job, doesn't seem practical. For instance, if everyone were paid the same, a factory worker would receive the same salary as a doctor. But a doctor spends about 6 years studying and training while also bearing much greater responsibility. So why would any young person want to become a doctor? If that were to happen, people would simply choose the easiest jobs, and we would end up with no doctors or specialists. It's absurd. It may be interesting to debate the pros and cons of the theory, but we live in the real world, which is generally governed by market forces. Therefore, the value attached to jobs depends on the demand for them, and salaries often reflect the level of training, experience, and responsibility required to perform the job, along with other factors. I really can't imagine how such an equal system could work, for the very reasons I've outlined. How could you get people to do jobs no one wants, or jobs that require a high level of expertise, and so on?
Thank you for joining us in today's interview. Wishing you good health and the best of luck.
Thank you very much, sir. I also wish you good health and the best of luck in life.